You were uh, still relatively new to the team when Brown v. Board of Education happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you and the others on the team have any real sense of how extraordinarily impactful this was going to be?
Oh, certainly, certainly. Our greatest fear was that, we could lose it. And then where would we be? In fact, there were blacks who argued that we shouldn't go ahead and push this issue of segregation per se. We had dropped separate but equal. We weren't asking for an equal facility for blacks, as had been the strategy before, and since there was no black facility, the black had to go into the only one, like Ada Lois Sipewell, the black woman in Oklahoma, and the man we mentioned earlier.
So there were those who said you're taking on too much.
Yes, that we could lose that, and then where would we be? Segregation, separate but equal, would be even more of the law of the land, because the Supreme Court had never specifically ruled on the issue. Remember, the case they ruled on had to do with transportation, segregation on streetcars in Louisiana. Had nothing to do with schools. So we would be bringing on that doctrine in law as to schools for the first time if we lost. And so naturally there were people who were counseling against having that happen. They thought that in time it might happen, but it was too soon. But it turned out it was not too soon for the Supreme Court.
And was the driving force in terms of making the decision, no, it is not too soon, we're going ahead, it was Thurgood?
No, it was the board of the NAACP that had to make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
He was their employee, so to speak. And the board had to decide that it was going forward with this attack on segregation per se, as we called it. And so that was a policy determination made by the organization, yes. There were blacks who counseled against it. Why push it, kind of thing. And then it becomes law. Because I think West Virginia was the first state to do it voluntarily, the first and only state to voluntarily take in, because there are very few blacks in West Virginia. That was another thing.
When did you get your first inkling that you were going to win this?
Oh, we didn't. We thought the best we'd get would be 5-4, maybe 6-3. We never thought it would be unanimous. That was our only surprise, and that was the result of Earl Warren's determination that it be unanimous, because he was right. If it were divided, the South would continue to fight because they had hope. This way they had no hope, and so they resorted to massive resistance anyway, firing black teachers who said anything about integration and that kind of thing, or black leaders lost their jobs locally. There are a lot of unsung heroes in this struggle, people you never heard of, who lost their jobs because everybody knew they were the local leader of the NAACP or something like that. Harry Seymour was killed in Florida because of his NAACP activities. And most people today never heard of him. So there were a lot of people like that who really suffered personally as a result of the struggle. We, as the lawyers, never encountered any real personal violence.